win.
Since spring last year. Yeah, I've been working on that.
And
here we go, and weeks.
And we can't
It's supposed to be creatures of habit. You know, we've done all these shows, and we didn't get no football this week. Where's the football? We refused to start the show. I know it's on, but we didn't get no football.
We know we're on.
We know that.
We know we're live.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a hostile edition of the Southern SoCal Prep Report. Richard Stray along with Bob Gibson. Happy you joined us.
There, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. These guys all think we're all serious about not having the football. I just hope that's not an omen of having a bad show tonight. We didn't have the ball down here tonight. It's the last show of the year, well, second to last show of the year, so we really weren't going to kick it tonight because we have to kick it last week, Bob, because we're going to break one of these cameras. We're going to do it.
So next week we'll go ahead and take care of that. Hey, I wanted to dress up for the occasion today.
You certainly did.
Last week of football.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Love it.
There is the social media. We're on every platform you can possibly imagine. If there's not one that we probably invented one, or we're just jiving with you. But there they were, and you can get us on each and all those platforms. Just want everybody to know, coming up shortly, we don't know exactly how short, we'll get him in here. Anthony White, the former high school Heisman Trophy winner, back in '98, Bob. And the reason we have Anthony White in is because this guy is one of the luckiest dogs you could imagine. Not only did he win the high school Heisman, but you know what that came with? That came with the lifetime invitation to the ceremony every year, Bob.
And he was just there.
Every year. He just got back.
You know who he was hanging out with this past week?
Tim Tebow. I saw his Instagram. Come on, man. Are you serious? But anyways, Anthony White going to be an interesting character to talk to here in just shortly. But right now, let's get into the scoreboard from last week. A lot of local teams out here in the state playoffs. And let's see how everybody did starting in Division I. And I believe the ride's over, Bob, for Oaks Christian.
It is indeed.
Oh, we can start with those guys. Oh, well, there we go.
We'll start with Oaks. All right, we'll get back. I'm excited about that other score that just popped up. We'll talk about
La
that.
Mesa, Bob. Helix down in San Diego.
Helix is that's one of those programs in San Diego that is always in the thick of it every single year. Oaks, man, coming up just short.
Oaks was the big favorite in this ball game too, man.
I know they were.
Tell you.
5 points. Look, this time of year. You talk about with any coach right now, this is the point. You play it on the field because you don't know. Everybody's 14 and something or 12 and 1. Everybody's good at this point. So don't be surprised by any result at this point because these are the best football teams right now.
All right, let's go on. Just continue on and flip them. We'll talk about them. Doesn't matter if you throw up. There we got
Narbonne last week
with your boys from Paraclete, also known as Paraclete. And Bob, you thought Paraclete was the big favorite in this game. They weren't a big favorite, but they were.
Rich said Paraclete was going to win going away in this one.
Never said that.
Rich said the city section could not hang.
Never said that.
I told you Narbonne was going to win by 40.
I might have said it. I might have said it.
No, I love Narbonne. I want Narbonne Modern Day after this weekend.
Oh, that wouldn't be a good game.
I want Narbonne Modern Day. I want to see it.
All right,
come on.
You can have it.
Narbonne's going to easily win a state title this year.
Crazy, but that's a good ball game. We'll be talking about Narbonne in a few seconds here. I'm sure Rosenbloom's going to have something on it as well. Let's continue on. Keep flipping these pages, baby. We got a lot to get to tonight. Okay, after Narbonne defeated Paraclete, we're going to go to the 2AA, Bob. And let's see who they pop up. Cajon, Rancho Verde. Cajon, 70 points on Rancho Verde. My Lord, Rancho Verde's pretty darn good, and Cajon hung 70. Is that score right, Bob?
That's good.
Woo!
Is that right, guys? Come on. Who hangs 70 points on somebody at this point in the season?
Jesus.
Nobody does that. Come
70 in a state playoff.
Unreal.
And Rancho Verde's pretty good.
No,
Bob.
These are the best of the best. So for that score to look like that, so, I don't know, something crazy happened. Somebody's got to do.
Downey gave them a better game last week.
That's true. That's true. I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I don't want to know. Let's move on. Cajon moves on to the state finals. Grace Brethren over Aquinas, 24-8. Enough said. Grace Brethren, a tiny school. Aquinas, not quite as small, but Grace Brethren having a good season. Congratulations that they advanced to the state finals. All right, keep moving. And come on, guys. Anybody talking to me?
Here we go. Here we go.
All right. I'll just start throwing stuff out there.
Takes a little bit for that computer to kind of.
Bishop Diego, Quartz Hill. Again, no surprise. Quartz Hill up in Lancaster, Palmdale. Bishop Diego in Bishop Diego.
Right. Well,
41-7.
Again, so many schools from so many different areas coming together and going to play for a state championship. Nice to see Bishop Diego come up. Good to see those schools down there come up and represent and get their shot as well. I like it. We've got somebody from every area around here represented in the state finals this weekend.
That is no different than the next one.
Steel Canyon.
Spring Valley.
Oh, the
Steel
dream is
Canyon.
over for your buddy Scott.
Elmo. Well, you know what it was? Here they had two home games. They had home game CIF finals, and they had a home game in the state playoffs, and I tell you, Scott Trumbo did not attend either
Scott Trumbo,
one.
he is
His
crying,
fault they lost.
Crying tears this week. 2-point loss.
Bob, they want you to step forward.
Oh, step forward?
You're not looking good, man.
Let me
probably blocking
come
in the camera view.
Sorry. Hi.
Probably better for the fans, though.
What do we got now?
City section, Crenshaw, 13-10 over Oceanside El Camino, which is a really good ball game. Those two teams would never meet otherwise for any reason. But I'm surprised Crenshaw won that game. Bob. I really am.
I was a little bit surprised too. I thought of the teams in the city section that had a chance. I thought Huntington Park may have had a better chance than Crenshaw. But Crenshaw, you know what? That's a storied program. We'll hear, as you mentioned, more from Randy in a couple of minutes. And Crenshaw gets it done. They're going to go play for a state title again.
Anthony Thomas, man, your boy.
Absolutely.
All right, so last time they did anything worthwhile over there. All right, El Centro, Southwest 31 over Fresno, San Joaquin Memorial. And I believe the Fresno San Joaquin Memorial is where the Lopez brothers went to school, Bob.
How is it a South matchup when a team from El Centro is playing a team from Fresno? Could they have scheduled two schools that are further away from each other to play in this game?
I don't care about that.
El Centro and Fresno, and that's the southern. Come on.
Dude, you get me in a state playoff, I'm going wherever they send me. I don't care if it's 1,000 miles away. I'm not picking up the tab the school is. But it couldn't have been a better game, 31-28. Gotta love it. Visalia, Golden West 41. Big Bear, it finally ended, huh?
End of the road for Big Bear, unfortunately for them. Yeah, Visalia. Golden West got them by 20 points. So Big Bear finally met their match on the year.
Big Bear, you know, they only got 700 kids. They don't need to recruit athletes. They just need to recruit students to go to the school, just to go to the school.
They just need kids to show up,
right? Hit that mock mark, that 1,000.
Catella, the Knights.
Yeah, Catella, man. Unbelievable, huh? They're moving on. They beat Spring Valley Monte Vista. Just a really good ball game here. You can't blame them. Hey, this one went down to the wire. Basically, Catella, Coach DePalma, decided to go for 2 points. It was either win or not. Either win or go home.
I love that. Roll the dice.
Did not kick the extra point. I know 90% of the Coach White, you probably would have kicked the extra point. I don't know about that, but
we'll find out.
We'll find out. Anyways, 36-35 Catella moving on to the state championship. They will have, which basically amounts to a home game this weekend. We'll be there.
This will make
and of course, Orange and Carruthers. We got some highlights here. Orange getting to the playoffs. It's been a long time, my brother, since Orange has been there. And are they in the orange jerseys, Bob?
That would be them, apparently.
All right,
I don't think Orange would wear blue and white. But
you never know.
The Panthers are playing for a state title. Those words I don't think have ever been said before.
No.
Have they? No, they have not. The Orange Panthers.
That's the first time that sentence has ever been put together in the history of man, Bob.
It's been a long time since Orange was relevant in the high school football world.
You're a pioneer.
Here they are again doing it, and it's only a matter of time, I guess, before Anaheim comes back and goes back to their glory years, right?
You think they will?
I hope so, man.
All right, we'll see what happens.
It's great to see these old schools. I mean, Orange High School is 732 years old. It's been around since the first people settled in California, man. That's how old that school is.
Yeah, well, congratulations to Orange, doing a good job, and they will get their chance to win a state title, which is very exciting, you know. The state got smart, you know. Call it what you want. It could be for revenue reasons, or it could be just geographics to let more schools in, but they got smart. Now we have, what, about 10 schools?
Right.
10 state champions now?
We have 12 divisions now, I think.
Well, in the old days, CIF only had 4 state champions. Now they got 13 plus 8 men. And the state's doing the same thing with football, and I can't blame them. They got to get revenue from somewhere, and you have to.
Well, absolutely. And this gives more teams a chance to come together and play. And now they put it out for bid again, and they're going to decide where the next set. They're in Sacramento this year. They're going to decide announce on Friday where the next set of games are going to end up.
I don't blame them for moving it up to Sac State. I really don't.
Fine.
The Home Depot Center is fine and all that, but it's not a football place. It's a soccer joint, man. They'd be better off having that game at Cerritos College, where CIF had the CIF the CIF Southern Section Championships were held there this year. And you could play 5 games in that stadium, Bob. There's plenty of room. There's 6,000 seats on each side of the stadium, so you couldn't ask for more.
I thought it was a perfect place to play those games. I really did. I thought that was the perfect venue when they were there for a couple of years.
Absolutely. Now, before we bring Anthony White up here, let's go to the city section, and let's hear from Randy Rosenbloom. Let's see what's happening with Randy, as the city section almost had 3 entries into the state.
Huntington Park just came up short as well.
Unheralded. We'll talk about that a little bit, but let's go to Randy Rosenbloom.
Great time for the LA City section of prep football. They have a chance to claim 2 state championships. Narbonne qualified with a 56-14 victory over Paraclete. The Spirits have a good football team, but they were no match for the Gauchos. And again, the story was Jamar Jefferson. He rushes for 221 yards and 5 scores. Has anybody in Southern California been better than Jefferson this year? What a year the transfer from Redondo has had. You can make the statement he's been the best high school player in the Southland this year. He's been that good. Narbonne scored 5 touchdowns in the first half on just 7 possessions. It was 35-0 at the break. And again, a running clock in the fourth quarter. But the Gauchos have done that to opponents all season long. DeMonte Peoples on defense had 2 interceptions for Manuel Douglas's team. And as a squad, they had 9 sacks. Jason Haywood of Paraclete did score 2 touchdowns way after the fact. And the quarterback, Brevin White, who's on his way to Princeton, threw for 170 yards. But it was an easy win for Narbonne, who next plays the Pittsburgh Pirates. Not those Pittsburgh Pirates, the prep football team from up north. And the Pirates will play Narbonne in Sacramento on Saturday night. Pittsburgh got a win. It wasn't easy over Granite Bay, and they won the game 37-14 in the Northern Final. They do have a really good quarterback in Justin Boyd. Crenshaw is also in a state final after knocking off El Camino of Oceanside 13-10. Their fine receiver Rayshawn Williams a touchdown reception in that one. They stopped El Camino with a minute left, took the ball over on downs and won the game. Robert Garrett, who's won 5 city titles, did a fabulous job getting his team prepared. Remember, they lost last week in the City Open final to Narbonne 48-7, but they bounced back. They next play Placer of Auburn, California. 13-1 is Placer at Crenshaw High School Saturday night. Now, Placer's got 2 outstanding running backs. Marshall Chapman, he's outstanding, well over 1,000 yards, and Mario Perez also over 1,000. He is the fullback. The one team that didn't make it to a state final was Huntington Park. They had to travel 225 miles and 3.5 hours to take on Vinces Memorial, school right on the border with Calexico in Mexico. The Spartans struggled in this one. 8 turnovers in the game, 7 interceptions. Ramiro Cuevas had 4 picks for the winners. Their quarterback also had a big night, throwing for 3 touchdowns. That's Eduardo Valenzuela. But it was a great year for the Spartans, no question about it. They did win the City 2 Division Championship, and that was their first title since 1959. So even though they fall a little bit short in the Regional Bowl, Huntington Park should be commended for an absolutely sensational season. And one high school basketball game I want to talk about here, and I know there's a flurry of games going on right now, but to me this is a showcase game, a game that proves just how good Fairfax is. The Lions played last year's city champions, Birmingham, and Fairfax defeated the champs 81-58. Ethan Anderson, their terrific guard, pours in 21 points. Kirk Smith, the center who can block shots, scores 20. And Robert McCray, he's a good player, can play both defense and offense. He scored 16. So Fairfax, definite threat in the city section. But the story is Crenshaw and Narbonne. Will they bring home state football championships? We shall see. Now let's go back to Rich and Bob, better known at this time of the year as Dancer and Prancer.
There he is.
Hey, Randy got us, man.
Yeah, he got us good, huh?
And he's Dancer, not Prancer. Let's see the moves, Bob. Come on, give it to him.
Dancer,
Come on, man. Throw a dollar bill at him.
Dancer.
Anybody got a buck in here?
Hey,
I
all
wouldn't
right.
throw it. It's not worth it. Never mind. All right. City section, Bob. It's been a while since we've had this many schools from the LA City section in the state playoffs, in the state finals.
No, this is great. Like I said, two teams from the city section. We could have had 3, but mostly southern section. But it makes sense. It's the biggest. It's the biggest area.
Right.
This one on. Okay, good. And a couple from the San Diego section. So we're good. We're covered in Southern California. Well represented. Going up against the North. I think the South's going to bring home a lot of state titles out of this one this year. I really think the South is that dominant this year.
All right. Very good, Bob. Appreciate all that. Yep. Now, without further delay,
the man of the hour?
also known as a do in the banquet circuit, the only other man in this room besides me to have a Heisman Trophy is Anthony White, high school Heisman winner. 1998, Anthony White. Come on in, my brother. Come on.
The pride of Rosemead.
There we go. The pride of Rosemead High School. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
There he
How you doing,
is.
guys?
Hey, how you
What's going on,
been?
Coach?
How you doing? How you doing, Rich?
Coach?
Awesome.
Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Good to see you too.
Those of you that don't know Coach White, former coach of Buena Park High School most recently, and I got to commend you, man. I mean, we've talked about this before on other shows where Buena Park had won, like, Bob, in 10 years, they won like 5 games, and everybody's 10 homecoming games a year.
I mean, Buena Park was everybody else's homecoming game
Oh,
for a long
for sure.
time.
I counted it,
Yeah,
and nobody played. You didn't have any homecoming games after that, just
That's
your own,
right.
huh?
That's right.
By the time you were done with them.
That's right. Our first year, we actually gave ourselves the nickname the Homecoming Killers. It was good. It was great. Halftime was always 20 minutes long.
Right.
It was
Yeah, kind of relaxing.
So,
huh?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
how funny, man. Now, you have the distinction of being a high school Heisman winner over at Rosemead High back in, let me get my Ep out, man. This thing is loud tonight. But anyways, you have the distinction of winning the high school Heisman. Tell us about that. What is that like? That's
great.
crazy.
The High School Heisman is actually sponsored by Wendy's.
Okay.
Wendy's High School Heisman has been around for over 25 years. This year was actually 25th year. Won it in 1998, just got my 20th year anniversary pin. We celebrate it on Friday, so it's actually an award given to student athletes throughout the nation. We bring back 10 national finalists, and we have 1 boy and 1 girl throughout the nation, and I was lucky enough to win my senior year. We get to go back every other year, and they do the high school Heisman on Friday, the college one on Saturday, and it's been a great event sponsored by Wendy's.
Now, you'll forever be connected with who? Tell us who won the college Heisman.
Oh, man.
that year.
Why you got to embarrass him, man?
Ricky Williams.
Ricky
Hey,
Williams.
he's
There's
doing
nothing
good
wrong
now.
with that.
He's doing good.
Ricky
He's in a great place in his
on a
life.
good path
He's
in
in a
life.
great place. Yeah, exactly right.
Good
Hold
path
it
in
against
life.
him,
He's
man.
found
It's
him.
all right.
He's found him.
He had a good career in the NFL.
Oh,
Ricky
man.
did it right for himself.
So, all right. So this
There you
year,
are.
there he goes. Who's that dude? All right. So people don't know you went to the University of Utah, played for Urban Meyer.
Yes, sir.
Which is ridiculous.
Yes, sir.
You played for a legend.
There's a life-changing experience, and even the head coach, Coach Whittingham, that whole staff, my senior year.
Is this all from this weekend?
No, that was a game show I was just on.
Oh, there's
Joker's Wild with Snoop Dogg, and
Sweetie.
just meeting coaches over the
Dabo.
years throughout the nation. So there I am, number 10. We got some swag. I still got some swag. Still got a tackle and a hurdle left in me. Tim Tebow this weekend, having a great time, giving a shout out to my son, Anthony White II, and just having a great time in New York.
Tebow's a great guy. I don't understand
He's
why he's
awesome.
not playing. The NFL is so devoid of good quarterbacks, and Tebow actually won a couple of playoff games,
Right.
man, and he can't get a job.
Talked about
Whether you take a knee where you're praying, whether you're
You have to
taking a
be
knee or
set,
taking
yeah.
a stand, you're out of the NFL.
right. Yeah, nobody's taking a
Exactly.
knee, so they want out of the
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Unreal.
So this weekend you go back to the ceremony. You get to go into the ceremony. What's that like? Is it diminished any year as far as being excited about going? Or
Yeah, something special about the Wendy's High School Heisman, it's really a lifestyle that you live. You always continue to give back to the community. You keep up with your academics and stay involved in your community with athletics. And just obviously the next day, meeting on the former Heisman winners, it's really a fraternity amongst them. And just to win the High School Heisman, just to be around those guys and be in our own fraternity is super special.
How many of those guys like you have gone into coaching?
The high school.
The high school Heisman winners.
Oh,
yeah.
we have tons of coaches. You know
I
what I mean?
bet. That's what I was gonna point, yeah.
Most of them are doctors and lawyers. we have an Olympian. We have an Olympian now. We have all kinds of CIA. We have all kinds of stuff. But there's some special people. But I feel pretty good.
So, yeah.
I'm a teacher. I feel great.
No, that's something to be proud of for
Yes,
sure.
sir.
so
Yes,
who's
sir.
your favorite Heisman Trophy winner?
Oh, man, there's so many great guys. Archie Griffin is always so gracious. The only two-time winner. 74, 75 is so gracious. Johnny Manziel's really the nicest guy in the world when you meet him. Tim Tebow, as you saw, was incredible. There's so many good guys. Even Lamar Jackson. I was hanging out with Lamar Jackson this weekend with his raspy voice. And you know what I mean? I would
does have a
challenge
raspy
him to
voice.
a race
Yeah.
and things like that. But all the guys are really great. They know that weekend. It's all about family. It's all about that fraternity. So it's a great job.
So I got to ask you, did OJ show up?
No, he didn't. He got stopped at
And
the
neither
COVID.
did Reggie Bush, I bet.
Yeah.
So there you
Well,
go.
Reggie had to give
He was
his
at the
Heisman-
Helix game.
OJ had no reason to give his Heisman back. That was
I
another
know,
lifetime
exactly
ago.
right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I guess Bush had to give it back and make it some
Apparently.
bread during all that time, and it's kind of illegal if you get caught, even though everybody's getting paid. Let's face it. All right. Yeah, OJ always brings the room down. So he just always brings the room down. So like I said, it's got to be exciting times. All right. On that note, we will go straight into the state playoffs, have a quick look, and then we'll talk about the national scene, and we'll get back and talk more about
good.
the Heisman Trophy class.
Here's a game for you.
That game's going to be all right. And, I think the problem with De La Salle, they only played, 12 games this year? They should be playing 14, and they should be playing national teams. Now, this year they did. De La Salle's only loss was to who? Bishop Gorman. Right. And Bishop Gorman pounded 34-7. Right. Modern Day beat Bishop Gorman.
Exactly. You heard about the movie The Game Stands Tall about De La Salle. They're going to have to get a lot taller because when they go against Modern Day, their offensive and defensive lines better step up.
Yeah. I talked to Coach Justin Allenbaugh, the De La Salle coach, today, and I asked him, do you see any weakness on either of the game films for Modern Day? And he said, no. I didn't see, me and my coach, we didn't see anything on there that would be a weakness.
So
maybe their best team ever.
Yeah, De La Salle knows they've got their work cut out for them if they have any shot in this game at all. And I don't think they do, unfortunately.
Modern Day really didn't have trouble with anybody this year. And every year, your rival's going to get you. Bosco is one of their rivals. You got a lot of rivals in Orange County. Matter of fact, everybody's a rival in Orange County. Bob Johnson was his rival. They're not even in the same league, But I tell you right now, I have not seen a better high school football team than Modern Day, and we've been at this since '84. Right.
Yeah, Coach, I know you had a chance to see Modern Day this year.
Yeah, Modern Day is loaded all the way. They brought in some new guys. I will give them that. They brought in some new guys at linebacker, but just the quarterbacks, the receivers, now the running back. You add the lines that they've always had on the offensive and defensive sides, and it's just incredible.
And they even lost Bull, and they haven't skipped a beat. You know what I mean? That's right. They haven't skipped a beat.
Even with him out, they're still winning games.
That's right. All right, let's take a look next division and have a look at the. Well, we're not going to state, that's for sure. But let's look at the next division we'll be talking about. We don't want to start talking about a division without seeing the graphics first, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's go. They didn't like that Bull comment, I guess.
Just not. You
they got a
loop out there.
All right, Bob, who's next on the list there?
How about we talk about...
let's do it. I mean, I'll throw anybody out there. Let's go Crenshaw, El Camino.
Helix
Helix the Folsom.
All right,
wow.
That's a good one.
All right, the Folsom
Folsom's
Prisoners.
Always, Folsom 15-0, no surprise there. Always one of the top teams in Northern California. So, Helix, who we just talked about.
No slouch.
Representing, getting that big win. Again, they got their work cut. Folsom looking for another perfect season. They've had plenty of them in the
La Mesa's like the Mission Viejo of San Diego County, to be honest with you. There's only like 4 or 5 really good schools down there, and that's one of them. All right, moving on. Let's keep the ball rolling, as they say. And let's see. What's got down at the bottom there? All right, Auburn Placer at Crenshaw. That game starts at 6 o'clock.
Right.
Milpitas is in this thing, huh, Bob? 12-1 to El Centro.
In the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Wow.
I heard Willie Stargell's going to suit up in that one.
We're looking at the crawl. There we go.
Dave Parker's going to be in that one.
Now, Narbonne at Pittsburgh. This is a really odd ball game, and I'll tell you why. Just because. All right? That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Now, let me tell you about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh played De La Salle in their CIF finals up north.
They did.
And it was a pretty good ball game. Pittsburgh's ranked like number 60 in the nation. What do you want?
The thing about Pittsburgh, De La Salle regularly puts 40 points on the board. Pittsburgh held them to 26 points in that game.
Wow. No, that's a pretty good team.
So if there's maybe a little bit of a blueprint to slow down that great running game that De La Salle is going to bring to the table on Saturday.
Yep, they have their own steel curtain, those guys do. All right, let's move on. What's the next set of graphics?
What do we got?
Cajon and San Mateo Serra, Bob. You know what? Cajon's just ripped everybody up, and after scoring 70 last week, I cannot believe they won't score at least 69 against San Mateo Serra.
Yeah, it looks like Cajon is just on a major roll. And Coach, you know what it's like when your team gets on a roll. And you're playing your best football at this time of the year. Yeah, it's hard to stop kids that just believe in themselves right now.
Exactly right. You have a little more pep in your step. The Monday practice, people are excited to go there. You just scored 70 points. In a playoff game for the state. It's big time. Kind of like Narbonne. Narbonne was going up against Paraclete. We played Paraclete a while ago, and just being on that roll to score that many points when so many people are looking down on you, you walk into practice with a pep in your step, so much more positivity now in the locker room, even after winning so many games, and you just keep it going.
All right. Next up is the Division 2 Single A, which is Grace Brethren and Mountain View St. Francis. Mountain View St. Francis with 4 losses is probably the worst team in this whole thing.
You would think,
record-wise.
Right? You're not going to see many teams with 4 losses playing for a state championship.
Yeah, but when you figure out those 4 losses came against Modern Day, Mission Viejo.
What?
Should we keep going?
What have I talked about? Playing your best football at this time of year. Everybody say it with me. That's the point. Doesn't matter. You may have lost 4 early in the year, but today you're playing your best football.
Exactly.
All right, continuing on, it's going to take a Northern California team in Shasta Redding and going to come all the way down to play Bishop Diego.
Yeah.
Don't know much about Shasta Redding. Shasta Cola's good.
Yeah, grape.
Bishop Diego.
Grape.
Grape.
Yeah,
Grape
there you
Shasta.
go.
Oh, man.
I like the lemon lime one.
There you go.
That was easy, right? 14-1 Bishop Diego. They got something going on because they've won 14 games this year, and that's hard to do. I don't care who you're
Half
playing.
Moon
Even if you're
Bay.
like Alabama and you play Mercer, it's still hard to do. You know what I'm saying?
Look, if you live in Half Moon Bay, you live in some of the most beautiful countryside in the whole
Yeah.
state of California.
Expensive real
Gorgeous
estate.
up there in Half Moon
Yeah.
Bay. Yeah, right. Cost a few dollars to live up
Yeah,
there
it
too.
does.
So to have a 14-0 football team, come on, that's an embarrassment of riches
You ever
up
see
there.
Bob's talking all good about that place? It's because Bob has a pad up there, so in Half Moon Bay. So, you know, come on, Bob.
Gotta keep my
You're
gotta
such
keep
a
my real
shill.
estate price.
You're really a shill, man.
He's in the middle of a
can't believe
refinance.
it.
Come on.
Right?
All right, let's continue on. LA City section game, Crenshaw 11-3 against Auburn Placer. Man, Auburn Placer, I got to tell you, I know nothing about them. They've got to be up north somewhere. We just don't cover them. So, and you know, you can't believe what you read in the paper with so much fake news going out here these days, Bob.
How good is Narbonne destroyed Crenshaw in the city section championship? Now Crenshaw's still going to play for a
Well,
state
that's
title.
Narbonne, though. Come on.
I told
Narbonne's
you,
in, too.
I
brother.
want Narbonne Mater Day at the end of all this.
Milpitas,
Come on.
El Centro, Southwest. Again, this is for the 4 single A championship, Bob. I don't have an opinion on that. Milpitas will probably win this game because they've already lost once. The pressure is really on El Centro, Southwest to keep that undefeated record going. That's a burden.
I say Southwest
That's
completes
a
it.
beast of burden, like
I
Mick
hear
Jagger
it.
used to say.
I hear
Come
it.
on.
15-0 looks awfully good though, doesn't it?
All right, we're going to finish up. Let's just keep them rolling. Oakland, McClemens against Visalia Golden West. Another game that basically leaves us in the dust,
That's
man.
another one. How is Visalia the southern team, right? But how's Visalia considered the south? I mean, Visalia's in the, to me, that's Northern
They
California.
were the
I'm
northern
sorry.
south, all right? The northern south, my brother.
But the central part of the state
yeah,
is, you know.
you got to have those regions in there.
Remember like the Civil War, the Northern South, right?
Big game this weekend. Everybody in SoCal, get out there and watch this game. Sell out Fred Kelly Stadium. Catella 14-1 going up against Fortuna.
It's not far from Buena Park, right? You guys ever
I won't
cross
go
paths with
against
Catella?
Catella.
Actually, my first 2 years, Catella, we were one of their homecomings.
There you go.
We actually defeated them
and
my
then they
first year.
became your homecoming, right?
Exactly right. Never lost to them, but they do a great job. Coach Fred does a great job.
Catella looking to win their first state championship.
Good luck
Of course,
to them.
the
We'd
last
love
game
to
we're
see
going
it
to look at is Orange and Strathmore. Having a quick look, like Bob said about Orange, it's been a million years since they've been there. I think they were there like probably 10 years ago, maybe 12.
That's the
I
thing.
think they
that's
were,
the
and I think
thing
they
is you're
were.
right.
I think they
were.
did.
Yes, they were.
It's
2003.
I think
It's
they
not
beat
that
Santa
long
Fe
ago
in that
for
final.
2003.
But it
Yeah, I
seems
was
like
there.
it, and it's
I
good to
saw
see
that
Orange
game.
back in.
All right.
Coach Pedroza does a great job for that program.
Now we got to go to the national top 10 real quick. Let's take a look at the nation's top 10, and we got to talk about it. Okay, there you see it now. Got Mater Day, #1 American Heritage fought by Allen, Texas. But Bob, here's the big thing. #1's taking on #12 Concord de La Salle. For some reason, and I don't know why they're doing it, but Bingham, Utah is taking on #9 St. Francis Academy of Maryland. And I believe Utah's actually all the way up there, a little further up. But anyways, those guys are playing. I don't know why they're playing because their seasons are over. They're both state champions, but they're going to play this weekend. And I give them credit.
I love it.
I give them a lot of credit for doing that. Mater Day's played 7 top 25 teams this year.
That takes some guts to say,
7.
hey, let's go play another one.
I love
let's
it.
play one more.
And you're not playing Sisters of the South.
No.
No, that's
You're
right.
playing somebody.
playing
You are
a
playing
top
a
10 national?
top 10 team.
Love that.
As
Good
is
for them.
Mater Day Gorman, and so there's a good game.
Kids are fired up about
Allen,
that. They have
Texas
to
is
be.
playing the number 63 team. Is that it? We're coming in?
We're done?
That's
Good
it?
night.
Man, what a ripoff. Well, sorry, Coach. Gonna have to have you in, man, and party some a little bit. You know, you're much,
Coach.
You're much better.
been awesome.
All right, never mind. I was gonna say something stupid. I'm just gonna let it go. All right.
Say it.
All right. On behalf of Coach White, Bob Gibson, Richard Stray saying so long from the French here at the SoCal Prep Report, and thanks to Randy Rosenbloom too. We'll see you guys all next week. Hope your favorites win.
State titles.